And it's time for our product review this week. We're looking at the HDFC Growth Fund. Avan is here to give us an introduction. Avan.
Our fund in focus, the HDFC Growth Fund, comes from the mighty HDFC Mutual Fund pack. Typical to the mutual fund house, this fund focuses on companies that depend on domestic demand with strong balance sheets. The fund has rewarded its investors with an annualized return of 19.5%. After an uneventful start spanning over 5 years, it began to get noticed in 2006 and turned out to be a category outperformer over the following years, barring a disappointing 2009. With nearly 70% of its portfolio in large cap stocks, this fund has trimmed its exposure towards mid caps to offer its investors more security. Currently, the top 3 sectors of the fund are financials, energy and technology. Let's bring in some numbers to get a better outlook at the fund's performance over the years. If you invested 1,000 rupees in this fund when it launched, you would have 8,141 rupees today. So is this a good bet? Should you add this fund to your portfolio? Let's find out.
Thanks, Avan. Virendra, the HDFC Growth Fund is a fund that's managed to stay in the top 10 of its category for its entire life, except for 2009. So given where the market is right now, given where we are seeing our economy right now, is this the kind of fund that an investor should be relying on to tide us through this rough period?
Yes, I think it has all the variables of being a good fund. And I'm not looking at, the immediate past or immediate future. In recent times, this fund has not done very, extraordinarily well. But I'm not looking at the past 5 months. I'm looking at past 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And when I find that this fund turns out to be among the top, top quartile of its category. One thing why it has never been on the radar, that from this fund company, there are many other blockbusters. There are, other funds which have been more prominent. They have actually topped the charts more often. And that is why this, despite its despite its good performance or consistent performance, it has not gained as much attention. But HDFC Growth is proving to be a good fund.
Actually, talking about the other funds from the same fund house, if we look at the numbers, and it's true that HDFC Growth is among the top 10, but HDFC Top 200 has done better for nearly the same amount of time. So if an investor were to choose one from the other, what would you recommend, HDFC Top 200 or HDFC Growth?
I would say that, HDFC Top 200 has its odds building against it. It has recently, done, last year was a blow for the fund. It turned out to be among the worst performing fund in its category. That has actually, shaken a lot of investors in HDFC Top 200. From that standpoint, I think this fund, if we think that a large fund is a liability or a large fund has odds stacked against it, HDFC Growth is not such a fund.
Right. So finally, Virendra, what is your rating for HDFC Growth? You did say it is low on risk and high on return. So where would you place it?
I would place it as a 4-star fund because it has, I would think that it is a fairly good fund worth investing in.